Hello everybody and welcome to Game 1 of the main event for the Ultimate Team Tournament 2. And this is currently the quarterfinals. We are left with 8 fantastic teams to play out the rest of this incredible event that it's been so far. At the moment, playing as the Soviets on the south side of Eindhoven country, it is Brozras, and supported by his teammate, Artevik.
And in the north side, for the VW player, we have GB Hooligan on the right side. On the left side, as the Wehrmacht player, we have a Pharaoh.
Absolutely. And no surprises here, Stern Panther. A lot of people are going to be saying, where's USF? Does USF still exist in Company of Heroes 2 these days? Or was it patched out? No, it does still exist. But there is just such good synergy we've seen in a lot of these events between British and Soviet teams. That has been the dominating strategy that we've seen, the dominating team composition between factions. And even now, you know, like without perimeter Overwatch, that still seems to be the popular pick, especially for Artevik and Brozras.
Yeah, and Process is the main Soviet player, so the only way who could play with US forces would be Artevik, but as you said, the synergy is way too strong to each other, so we have Brit Soviets as usual and Wehrmacht and OKW. If you wonder why it's not both OKW or double Wehrmacht, it's only allowed to play with mixed faction, not have the same faction at the same time, to have more fun games.
Oh no, Stern Panther, right at the start of this, a couple of models are hanging outside of the green cover sandbags there, and they're going to get suppressed right at the start. Got to be so careful that models don't hang off the corners of green cover, because line of sight in this game is realistic. But we've got a couple of early engagements. Pioneers fighting in on the western side of the map there, of course. Axis win that with their close range weapons. And then check this out on the right hand side. There's already activity on both VPs on the outsides of the map. And Artevik's going to get pushed away by some brilliant Stern Pioneers from Hooligan.
Yeah, it's nice control. It means the Axis will have 2 victory points very soon to start the tickers. And the Concept doing well in the middle on the green cover wall, but have now finally to retreat with fortunately an MG. She's setting up new again and have to find a new place for it. Right, so we have 2 intersection facing versus one Volksgrenadier, and here you can hear the universal carrier upgraded with the Vickers to help to secure the right side now.
Yep, it's going to try to get an angle around the side of the green cover there.
One extra soldier can be
That's going
added
to be
to
useful
infantry
in pushing the Volksgrenadiers away. This is interesting. I mean, actually, in a lot of the games we cast last week, we always saw the Axis players go quite hard for fuel on the eastern side of the map. And we really haven't seen that today. Actually, Axis have gone very, very strongly for a triple cap. They've focused on VPs. And that in itself is sometimes a very, very good strategy, because, you know, we've seen VPs be such a big issue later on in the game when players have just lost them so quickly over time. And to even take maybe 50 VPs off of their opponents now in the first 5 minutes is a really big deal.
Indeed, we saw it on the series when Helping Hands and Austin was playing. They had trouble in the early game always because Axis make a lot of pressure and victory points. We actually the same. We see Soviet is going for T2 and have a Maxim out, so 3 conscript, 1 pioneer, 1 Maxim play. And we see the first commander pick from Artevik going tactical support regiment. I like it, so no Saxon at all. We see maybe a crocodile, which I really like to see. I love this unit.
Absolutely, yeah, the crocodile. I mean, the Churchill at the best of times is a fantastic unit for dealing with infantry and kind of tanking a lot of AT shots as it moves up the map, but to give it the flamethrower that the crocodile has is unholy, is the word I would use.
Yeah, it's murdering infantry even in retreat. If you don't instant click on retreat, your unit is gone. It's too burst. Referral Station 2 as well. 222 in build to try to help with the universal carrier. And Hooligan didn't choose yet if he goes mechanized or medic, but since he went for 4 Volks, I'm pretty sure he will go for Boomer. And
Yeah,
there we
he
are,
is.
as I speak.
Mechanized, of course, and we just see that scout car on the field now for Refero. Interesting, by the way, Artovic has gone for a bolster on his infantry, so Tommy Squad's now 5-man, and that's going to make them more durable, and also a lot better because Brosras has actually built a lot of cover positions on the map so far, so it's going to be really useful for the Brits to get into those cover positions, be really effective on the field. We know they're a bit better aggressively since recent changes to the game, and this is going to help them be even better when they do climb into those cover positions.
Yeah, and looks like allies are slightly going forward and stabilizing. I mean, they still have fuel and munition points. AT gun is out as well, so Artoric is expecting a Puma rush probably. Also was the 222 to help him, so no AC tech this time. Most will go for AC, not for him. And yeah, looks like right victory point goes finally in the hand of the allies.
Yeah, and it's good that they're paying attention to this early. I don't think they've let Axis get too much of a lead here. Artovic, though, is, I think, very much... You just see that Hooligan has very few units on the right-hand side, but his constant attacking of the VP there means that you look at Artovic, he has to take the Universal Carrier over there. He's got to take maybe 2 or 3 squads over sometimes, just to make sure he can comfortably deal with that, and that is allowing Axis to play better in the center. They just take down the green cover sandbag on the VP, and now I think we're going to start seeing Axis push towards a strategic decap point that's going to cut allies from their munitions on the left-hand side of the map.
Yeah, they're trying, but Volkswagen has retreated too much damage, and actually it could be the first squad wipe here. The intersection focusing on the Volkswagen retreating, 2 models left. Nate coming from rifle, Nate nice here to protect his own teammate, forcing the Brit play to move.
That was a really
and
nice
yeah,
rifle grenade.
I would say both teams are playing very defensive, like no big deep pushes in the enemy territory, don't to get wipes at all, playing safe, waiting for some good action.
Quick look at the map right now. Allies trying to get back into this, and they've gone for that VP on the left side. You see Hooligan there is trying to capture the VP on the right hand side. He will not let that go. And to right as well. The Puma's actually heading over that side, knowing that the Universal Carrier frequently comes up there to deal with infantry. Fortunately, this time Artovic, I believe, is actually taking it to the center.
We're losing a capture point.
Yeah, to see, but he also has a T-gun. Oh, and we see as every single game the mortar pit in the same position. It's a huge investment. It's so strong in this position, like especially since the allies, the Axis have no ISG, since they went for Puma. This mortar pit deals a lot of damage every single time. Intersection right side facing Stumpaniers, almost going down. AT gun tries to shoot on the Puma. Puma smokes, so you can't see it. And here so far we have, like on every Pioneer we have Minesweeper, so they're scared for mines. The 70s out on the field for the Soviets. Using more damage.
You know, Stone Panther, it's funny, this is one of the first times that in a long time, in a 2v2, that we've been kind of coming up to 9 minutes in the game and only 1 commander pick. Actually, a lot of players were pre-picking commanders as soon as they jumped into the game. I like this. I think this shows flexibility. It's going to be more of a dynamic game where they're leaving themselves with options to deal with the, you know what I mean, whatever the other players kind of build as part of their composition. Or maybe does it show that, you know, they haven't really got a predefined strategy they think is super strong right now?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but yeah, probably in the most case is, as you said, it's just to see what goes the enemy and then try to counter pick. So we don't need a special tactic, we just play with our units we have in our bases. We need commander stuff for it, and yeah, it's working, I guess. I mean, T-70 is out, which make a lot of damage to infantry. Mortar pit is out. It's a good chance for allies to come back, do some stuff. But both fuels were all the time in the hand of each other, so you can't really say one team is in lead. It's quite weak, though. air
mortar from Refero has been really annoying the Sturm Panther. We consistently see the Maxim getting pushed away by this unit, so mortar, whilst not on many kills, is certainly having impact on Allies' ability to hold the centre of the map. But of course we are already seeing the mortar pit from the Brits starting to fire shells now into the centre, and they're going to have that advantage, and you can actually see the radius that that unit can fire. It's fairly capable of dealing with any support weapons that are covering the centre VP.
Yeah, it really looks like the Allies don't even try to take the left fuel at all. It's like they say, okay, we're focusing on our middle and right side and do the mortar pit our work. Hooligan went for own MG, not the right side to help versus the 5-man intersections block, trying to flanking around. Still the mortar pit is in range, so you have to take care, almost fortunately going down here to a mortar hit an intersection. It's safe to escape again. Puma coming in, missing to the wall.
Actually, Allies, I think, have done very well here with their kind of cover positioning. They're utilising cover very well. It's allowing them to hold positions and just forcing the Axis, like you see here, to spend their munitions resource to start pushing the Allies back. Actually, the position even of the Bren carrier is really good because he's got all of the line of sight blockers from the castle to help defend against the Puma, and you know, even just a little bit of elevation there, which makes it difficult. And then just having that mortar pit means that Axis just cannot stand in one place for a long period of time when they're trying to take this area back. So it's a pretty good defense, I think, from Artivik on that side so far. Going to be hard for Hooligan.
Yep. As you see, like the game is like very campy on each side. Nobody's really pushing forward, so Stuka can be a good choice here from the Axis player. To deal with all the weapon teams. 2 AT guns are out, 1 mortar, 1 Maxime. And also, which is nice team play, is that Refero was building a medic bunker in his base for Hooligan, so he has heal and don't need always to use the Storm Pioneer to drop medics. Nice team play there. Nice ability use on the right side from Artivik with the Royal Engineers. They have the smoke grenades. Don't get too much damage from the MG.
Sorry, Sturm Panther, where was the medical supply drop?
No, the medic is in the base, from the Wehrmacht player in the base. So 2 medic bunkers.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the air supply operation, which was just dropped somewhere.
Ready for combat.
So, Stuka is out. Where will be the first target? Stuka is aiming to shoot in the middle, probably.
I think we know where that's going. Trying to go for that mortar. And Brosras was actually really, it's like he was already moving before that happened. Really good game sense there. I think they can obviously protect a little bit. Now there was 2 very important, nearly brutal hits on the scout car there, I think from the T-70, and really good positioning from Artivik's AT gun.
Puma on the right side, maybe it gets a shot in the risk here, it does. Get that tree, but is escaping again. Puma can't dive in, he sees or saws the mine, because the mine sweeper. Missing the mine, sadly with ground attack though. Some pioneers have to retreat very soon. Nades coming in from infantry section, actually taking. Nice dodge there from Sturm Pioneers. Oh, one more drop again, but it's safe. We had just smoke coming in, but wasn't that needed. That's safe to save.
Well, we do have some more commander picks now. Brosras is going for mechanized support tactics. Hooligan's gone for Luftwaffe ground forces.
If you have time on the left side on the fuel, I'm not sure if the pack is self-wired from Refero. I'm sure we can move around. Okay, it can, but it looked like. Second Scout doesn't.
Okay, so we can hear here that Refero at the moment is actually rushing tech quite quickly. He's already gone up to battle phase 3 now. I think we're pretty certain we're going to see tier 4 from Austere, and of course tier 4 is just so good for Austere at the moment. It really boosts the effectiveness of Axis forces. It's cheaper to reinforce all the men, they cap a bit quicker as well, so probably going to see a Brumbear. That's been the common choice for a lot of the tournaments so far.
Yeah, I would say definitely as well. And we see actually 4 commander picks. So after 15-minute games, everyone decided we'll probably see Elephant versus ISU in the middle, which is great. And OPW went for the Luftwaffen ground forces doctrine to have some airstrikes for the late game and multi-killing. Another Stuki Barrage coming in again, I think in the middle on the mortars with Maxime. Hitting some models, but no wipe so far.
I mean, it wasn't the best Stuka, but I actually managed to catch 2 squads coming out of Brosras's base there, which is great because it forced them back to retreat and heal back up to full-man squads. So that's going to buy Axis a bit more time. You see here, Artivik just trying to force an MG34 back for Hooligan. You can just sense that he's trying to get himself as much time as possible.
And I mean, it's impressive for both teams actually. We are 60 minutes in the game and we have 0 wipes in a 2vs2. Not a single wipe yet, so props to all 4 players here.
That's actually a really good point, Stamfant. And I like that because with preservation being so good, it means that we're going to enter kind of like the late game a lot quicker than we normally would. Players are going to be able to afford to get those bigger units out fast. They're going to have a lot of veterancy on the infantry, but here we might be able to see one of the first wipes as the Puma comes in for the T-70. Mark target goes down from Brosras. I don't think it's going to be enough though. T-70 is definitely giving it a good go, but the Puma is going to be victorious there. Smokes to try and aid its escape from that engagement. I think they'll get away from that. It's a really good play.
Yeah, well played, man. It's so one single hit was missing Self into 70. Almost get him at sending a follow, but maybe has a chance as Katyusha. If he still spots the Puma because of the recon of Mark target, he could actually try to kill it with Katyusha. Katyusha moving in, but not going for it, sadly. So Puma will survive. Nice play there. Important pick to kill the T-70.
I think we're about to
Maxime's in trouble here. From there. Shooting as well.
I think maybe a little bit. Where was it going? Oh, okay, it's actually firing a bit further than I expected. He's trying to go for the Puma as that repairs. And none of those shells actually landed, with rockets rather.
Seems like Refer don't want to get the Maximes, he just kills with their T-gun, so 2 wipes now in 1 minute, sadly for Brosras. Maxime sent down. But still, the game is open for everybody. Brosras is a little bit bleeding if you look on the kill-death ratio, but he's playing Conscript, so I guess it's kind of okay on the kills to death.
He's done very well at the start of this game. He's about to get a T-34 out. I get the feeling that perhaps they haven't really pushed Axis territory enough so far. Allies, I think, normally are a little bit more aggressive than this, and especially when you have the T-70, you have that advantage. I mean, normally we'll see the scout car go down. Normally we'll see, you know, some kind of breakthrough where they can kind of flank around some of the AT guns and the support weapon forces, but we just haven't seen that yet. Let's have a look where the Stuka's firing.
To the middle again. Almost gets a T-gun but misses so far, and I'm really surprised, man. This Universal Carrier Vetri 10 kills is still alive in a 20-minute game. So nice micro there, especially versus a Puma. And Adric went for Centaur. Facing right now the Puma in the middle. Nice retreat there. Again, trying to get in position. Puma backs up.
A capture point is being overrun.
I actually feel a bit sorry for Brosras here. I mean, Artivik there's not really much choice. He's got to go over to the right-hand side and deal with Hooligan. He just doesn't have enough there at the moment. You know, the VP is just constantly getting decapped. You don't want to let Axis get to a position where they can, you know, flank you from that angle. It's a nice Katusha barrage here onto the MG42 from the Austin. Nearly wipes it.
We're losing a capture point.
Yeah, it's Arteries constantly go to the right side because of Hooligan pushing, so maybe he should go for a Vickers and put it on the right victory point just to say, that's my victory point, let it be. Don't want to take it all the time, and we see from both Axis player double AT guns, so they're really scared versus the Centaur and the T-43. We see double Pak 40, double Kettenwerfer and a Boomer. So hard time for allies actually. One mistake, here comes first AT gun connects to C-43, as the backup. Bomber moving to the middle. Double Prince AT gun actually trying to penetrate the Brombear. Missing exactly double shots.
Yeah, I think that was unfortunate actually. They just don't penetrate far enough as it's reversing. I mean, this is obviously why Refero wants the Brumbear out in the field. It did have buffs to its armor in the recent patches, so it's now really, really good at just buying some time, drawing the focus of the AT guns and delivering some powerful counter shots. And
enemies trying to take a point from
allies, I think they just have to find a way to break that. In some previous games, we've seen Brits play with Fireflies, which has been good, but I think the Su-85 has been the really good vehicle counter that we've seen in a lot of games in the 2v2.
Hooligan has this to 4 up and he has 150 fuel so far. So I think he's waiting to get a Panther out. Same for Artillery. I don't think that Artillery will bring any more vehicles out until he has 12 command points. And then he will rush for the Crocodile. Same right now with the manpower for it. It's almost close to 12 victory point, and this can be the turnaround. Like, they have one Katusha and Crocodile is really awesome from keeping their T-guns down.
Just Panther, bear with me 1 second because the Centaur is Centaur getting in on the action there. Double 6-pounder AT guns just finish off the Puma, beautifully snared by the sappers. And now the Centaur is just left. They managed to clear the Raquette, and the Centaur's just going to go in and clear this. Uses its Vet 1 ability to strafe. That's beautiful. MG34 goes down. The Centaur has enough time to get out of there. I love seeing that ability used correctly, and that was so well executed by Artovic. He did everything right there.
Yeah, perfect play, definitely. And as I said, yeah, this ability, I like it as well. Almost nobody uses it, sadly. It's so strong as we could saw that, and she had no chance at all. Stuka and Panzerwerfer shooting right now to the middle. One conscript almost goes down but doesn't retreat, which was a good decision there. He's safe. Katusha coming in to counter barrage, but there is no unit there. Brumbear tries to kill the conscripts. Chef is process trying to steal the MG, but pouring in and out. And we are so close to see the Crocodile.
Oh, Stern Panther, I don't even know if that was intentional. That was very helping hands-esque there, but as the Brumbear came in for the mortar, he drove the T-34 in front of it to deflect the shot, and it did. And I know that is something that top players actually do in this game. They use their tanks to block shells that way. Helping Hands does it. It's very impressive.
A universal carrier has been knocked out.
I think I just maybe missed that on the replay, sadly, but maybe one to look back on if you missed it.
The Ferris pushing deep but have to go in, and it's such a strong combo, man. You have the Brumbear, your T-Guns, and you have your 222 with spotting scopes with more line of sight, so he sees everything and was able to decap the left munition points with the cutoff. On guard squad, finally, actually. I'm surprised that we have 24 minutes and no guards yet. Finally goes for it. Got just such a strong unit, especially if it gets wet and you pin down enemy tanks.
Well, I wonder if he's mainly going for some kind of conscript build so that it's easier to save up for the ISU, because you know, sometimes if you have those higher reinforcement units, you spend a lot of time trying to fight aggressively and save for that late game heavy. So maybe there's something in the choice of units to try and help things along. We do have a Comet tank that's just come in from Artovic, and the Comet tank is going to be really important here. It's going to be up against a Panther on the right hand side. and the Brumbear, which is in the center, just taking mark target there from Brosras.
That Panzerwerfer shot, man, almost was perfect. Oh, look at all the models on the HP. Guards have the 3 Katyushas almost down. AT gun is almost down. It's a perfect shot for the Panzerwerfer. Comes the counter rush from the Katyusha, shooting probably on the mortar and the AT gun in the middle. Also it hits a little bit. Maybe he's able to really true the Wehrmacht mortar there too. Or Rocket needs to connect, but he misses. And I'm really surprised, man. I really hope to see a crocodile, but for some reason Alex says no. I need more the Comet with the Panther probably to deal with.
It's a really interesting choice, and I'm not 100% sure what the idea is, because the Comet, I guess, is going to be like an anti-tank counter, and maybe they just want some utilization against infantry as well. Comet's very versatile, but I actually thought that the better combination, maybe like you thought, would be something like a Firefly and a Crocodile.
Yeah, same. Especially since he has 2 AT guns, but... Oh, here comes the skill plates on the right side from Airborne Assault, from Hooligan. To try to protect the Panther and everything, but since the tower is here, the planes will have no long time here. The tower is trying to shoot down the plane. Pretty sure they will die soon. If it would stop moving around, Centaur would shoot.
Well, one of the benefits of using this ability is that your Fallschirmjäger can be reinforced anywhere on the field, but we don't see any yet from Hooligan. Hooligan's just trying to secure VPs right now. There's still, by the way, Brosras is attempting to take VPs on the left-hand side of the map. Where is that Panzerwerfer? I think that's just chasing down a mortar pit in the center. And Brosras, by the way, on the left-hand side, completely unsuccessful. That MG42 has been here for a long, long time. And every time it's the same engagement. He goes over, he gets suppressed, he retreats.
Yeah, that's what I said. I should use it the right side as well. Like, put 1 Vickers in and you have the victory point. Also now AT gun moving to the left side to protect the MG versus any Rico. Tap on. Mortar dealing with damage there from Wehrmacht mortar. Brumbeck gets a nice shot and comes after retreat.
Oh, Sternpanther, the scout car at Veteran C2 just went down. We'll talk about that in a second. And by the way, I think we nearly saw 2 squads of sappers go down then. To the Stuka, there's a return shot from the Katyusha here. There's a lot of indirect fire going on around the map at the moment. We will see some squad wipes that they're bound to happen occasionally. Sternpanther, of course, you mentioned earlier about the Veteran C2 on the scout car with the spotting scopes. Really, really essential when you're using late game things like the Elephant for that amazing vision. And to lose that, I think, is a big deal. Good pickup from Brosras.
Yeah, so it's a counter pick to the 70, which also gives line of sight, and right now Brosras could go for the ISU if he uses some more models. He has resources from fuel and manpower, but sadly it's pop cap, because ISU takes 22 pop cap. The 2 more single model needs to drop, and then we have an ISU. But also the Pharaoh is close to get an Elephant. Then we will see some nice action. Elephant versus ISU in the middle. Nice bomber shot there with the barrage. Almost killed the mortar from the Soviets.
Brosras just having to evacuate from the western VP there because of a Panzerwerfer from Refero. And Axis, actually, after all of their efforts to take VPs in this game, they put a really strong VP game in for game 1. They're not that far ahead, to be honest. Only 100 VPs. Allies, I think, actually are in a strong position and growing. And really, we're looking at Refero. He's banking for that Elephant now. That'll be one of the key units. But what they absolutely cannot do is lose their support weapons to indirect fire. So they can't keep their AT guns too near the center right now. They've got to be careful of that Katyusha, which keeps poking in and delivering some rockets.
Yeah, the ISU is now on the field. Oh, that's like squad wipe in the middle from the ISU, I guess. Was it? No. Never mind, it was conscript for months. Just looked wrong. My fault. Yeah, Refero has to wait now to get the Elephant out, so here's the same issue. He has pop caps. Wow, beautiful shot from the ISU. this actually... Yeah, the mortar got destroyed here. Yeah, 2 mortar down. Machine on the right side, trying to hit a comet, I guess.
There's a lot of mines on the right-hand side. I mean, actually, the indirect fire is probably going to be very useful at just clearing out some of the mines. You even just see 4 already, 5, 6, 7. I mean, there's actually so many mines from the allies on the right-hand side. Hooligan just cannot be as aggressive as he was previously over there. Guards here are now going to spot the elephant on the field. So we do have a classic ISU versus elephant. We used to see this all the time at the launch of Company of Heroes 2. This was the 2 big heavies. And it's no less beautiful so many years onwards.
Yeah, it's always nice to see, and it's crazy, man. This process, he was stalling the Prit AT gun, and he can cloak it thanks to the Guard East commanders. He has a vet 3 cloaked AT gun in the middle. Shooting right now on the elephant. First it penetrates, second down sadly. Katusha coming in the middle. Wehrmacht player has to retreat here back up. Some models in clear, and the G goes down. And Alice in a really strong position right now. They have everything they need. And here it comes. The 7-pounder. Building right now from Artemic straight in the middle. If he gets this up.
Yeah, actually, I really like the idea here. We just saw British artillery just being called on the right side of the center VP there. So that's just going to keep Axis off the map for a second. Buying Artevic that time to, as you say, just complete the 17-pounder AT gun. That is beautiful. Look at the range on that thing. That is going to be perfect defense for the ISU. And that is just so cool. Look at the damage it did to the Brumbear so fast. The Comet goes in to try and push, but Artevic knows there's no point being hyper-aggressive. They're in such a good place right now. All of this indirect fire between Refero and Hooligan is going to need to focus on that 17-pounder.
Yeah, Axis have to think about how we can counter the 70-pounder. Like, they have a Stuka and a Panzerwerfer, and they have to make a deal like shooting right now with Panzerwerfer and walking Stuka on the 70-pounder and force Artevic to go to brace. And when the brace is done, then they have to use the Stuka dive bomb to clear it out. Like, Refero has 400 munition, he can just freaking Stuka dive, and they should do that. Here comes the walking Stuka, bracing it, and I hope we see what I just said, like in 30 seconds. We see a weaken playing Stuka dive to counter it. Let's see if they will do that or not.
Well, I think they're trying to move up for it. They've got to be careful here because any vision that's provided from, say, the guards or the conscripts is going to be immediately met with the 17-pounder. Look at that, the Brumbear just takes a nice shot just to turn the 17-pounder in its direction. And now we've got the Panzerwerfer coming in. They've spotted, of course, that the 17-pounder is weak. It goes down. That is a great counter-response to the 17-pounder in the center. That renders Artevic's strategy completely useless. Volksgrenadiers being held off the center by the Katusha as the VPs start to equalize now in the center.
Yeah, almost Volksgrenadier goes down to the Katusha, and Elephant gets a nice one. I assume left it, but the Brumbear died in a trade with the 70-pounder, and I wouldn't say it was worth it for the Axis losing Brumbear versus 70-pounder. So it's actually a win for allies. Refero has to use the Stuka dive bomb somewhere and try to find like the Katusha somewhere. I think it's Mortar 70 kills already, doing a good job in the middle. More Sunbacks coming up from conscripts in green cover, but Refero just shoots the elephant in green cover and denies it. Nice play there. And yeah, it's quite equal now. We have on the victory point almost the same, 280 to 280. So the game is definitely open. Stuka coming in on the middle right, clearing some mines. And we're pushing forward with AT guns, trying to find some spots. Conscripts have AT nades, so if one AT gun connects to the elephant, the conscript can run in, snare it.
They're gonna go for another. They're going for another one, another 17-pounder. Just gonna watch these conscripts and see if they're successful in getting the AT grenade off. They look like they were within range then, and they are. Brosras doesn't have the IL-2 precision strike. On the left-hand VP, we've got guards and conscripts. They're trying to flank the MG42 from Refero, but great positioning. He actually was able to suppress both of those squads. I think he may have hit the retreat button at not a great time there. I think he was actually holding that.
So nice flank on the left side. It means allies are able to get a triple cap on. Which is awesome. Panther is in trouble. 70 pounder hits. So they back up again, and yeah, at the moment allies are very strong. Elephant has engine damage, has to repair. A new scout guard is here for a fair with scopes, but without veterancy, doesn't see too much. Panzerwerfer shooting the left victory point on the fuel. Only pins the conscript, no damage so far. Airstrikes coming in the right side from Hooligan. Forcing the big player away. But since the tower is still alive, it's no big issue there. Intersection on the right victory point in the trench, holding with Sturm Pioneers with 4 and Volksliga throwing into the air nade, so he has to back up there. Still holding light, throwing counter nade. Has to keep there. Panther versus Comet. Could be actually a good move right now to push with the Panther in. Ground attack to the hedge. Connects, nice there.
I would say at this point, I mean, it's a fairly slow game right now. Actually, I think there are players playing aggressively, but you don't want to do too much, because when you get to this stage in the game and you've got kind of all your late game weapons and it's kind of like a gentleman's fight and they're just stepping a tiptoe over the line and then, you know, and then retreating a little bit. No one wants to lose anything. Just sort of squad wipe in the center there to the Panzerwerfer. So it's just kind of like attrition. It's just a very slow wearing down of the enemy.
It is, yeah. It's quite, the army position from Popkit is still kind of equal to each other. The only thing what we can say is that allies have way more fuel advantage. Like, if allies losing a tank, they can replace it. Another Brumble is now in production. And we have double Panther on the left side, so here comes the recon plane to spot it. Stuka dive bomb. Get called in. Pharaoh. Probably in the 70 pounder. He has no praise. And
Yep,
it's almost
not enough. A lot of munitions spent there to try and take that unit down. Just not good enough. Needs something else to finish, but I'm pretty sure Refero is going to have the Panzerwerfer available. He does, so
He's going with the elephant. I think one elephant should be enough to deal it, and there we are. Nice play there, as we said. Praise it, and then you Stuka dive bomb, and you have it. Pick up there. Panzerwerfer shooting in the middle, around to the Pioneers.
wow, that's really good. They wiped Veteran C3 off the Soviet Zis gun.
And it's a Vet 3 Panzerwerfer right now with 31 kills. So the Panzerwerfer do a good job here right now. X is pushing forward, Panther pushing in, double AT gun, Elephant pushing forward. Two Cerberus are in, trying to deny it. Snaring it, but not enough damage so far yet. Other part of Stuka on the right side is very going deep to the middle victory point. This is a mistake. AT gun sees the Stuka and Stuka goes down. It was a mistake probably. How many kills has Stuka Tusha? Tusha has 18 kills only so far with 1. So Panzerwerfer is dealing actually more damage here. Panzerwerfer is ready again to shoot, but backing up. Don't want to lose it as the Stuka. Spotted first. The right side again was kept from X, so Country Artemic has to focus on the right victory point because Uriken is always pushing forward there.
He's been really struggling with that actually. Hooligan's done a great job of that during the game. Actually, I think Artevik and Brosras look pretty strong when they're together, but spread them out a little bit. They do struggle. Let's have a look what... I mean, Axis, I still feel they're actually playing very passively right now because they do have all the tools that they need to break through the allies. I'm not sure why they are perhaps not being more aggressive than this. And we should see a snare now on the Broom Bear. Actually, Brosras hasn't hit that button yet. Oh, perhaps misses a good opportunity there.
Yeah, but I think the Broom Bear would be survive sadly. But yeah, snaring is always a good option. And punching pushing to the right a little bit because some folks, but 2 AT guns and a Comet already waiting for the Panther to secure the right side. The section has retreated, is throwing in fire, but then misses. 385 is now on the field to protect the east versus the Panthers. And the Elephant will help a little bit more. Also, I like that Hooligan went for a medic truck right on the cutoff point, so they have option to reinforce right in the middle. Right victory point is the Grenadiers versus Infrasection. Infrasection is quite low on the board, so Kidnapper tries to kill the trench. Misses though. Sturmpanier getting low HP there to the center over at 5.
You see, by the way, Katusha firing at the moment. And when the Katusha's firing, Mark vehicle is on. Rockets can do some damage, but that's a bit ambitious. Maybe they were hoping to get recon first. Interesting to point out as well, I mean, Katusha is, like with the Panzerwerfer and anything else, you know, at maximum range, the spread of fire is very wide. You don't always get the best benefits, so it's all about kind of getting the Katusha as close range as you can, so that the rockets land close together and deal the most damage possible. But they haven't been able to make that happen. Brosras here, by the way, T-34-76 on the left-hand side. I think that's ready to flank. We have the ISU and now an Su-85. And I think this is a really good combination. The ISU should be able to tank, the Su-85 should be able to deliver shots. We should see this T-34-76 go around and claim things like the Scout Car Panzerwerfer. We'll see.
Yeah, he's definitely waiting to make a trap for it and then flank around, which I really like, and he's going for actually, because the Ferb is pushing more and more forward with his Elephant. Kind of a nice Panzerwerfer rush in the middle. No conscript wipe with model drops for him to retreat, but the Axis need right now some infantry to capture the victory point. So
wow, this is the second time we've seen Brosras miss the snare here, and I'm not sure what is going on, but he's been like standing next to the Elephant and not hitting that button. That is the second time he's made that mistake, and I think that is crucial. Not being able to engine damage means no Su-85 effectiveness, no ISU effectiveness. That's
it's wondering. It's an important pick because an Elephant's engine damage is completely useless. He's so slow, can't move around at all. I really like it. Every single time I look to the right side, I see Hooligan rushing in with the Sturmpanier reinforced and trying again at a victory point. Making pressure there. The tower is here now again. Protected. And yeah, I think right now he needs the Sturmpanier to repair both of his Panthers. Hello, HP. We can plane again from Hooligan through the middle. Looking for where's the ISU with the Katyushas, yeah, the T-guns. Panzerwerfer is ready to shoot, but we hear Katyusha shooting right now. On the T-gun right side could actually hit the Stuka as well. Okay, Stuka is shooting, maybe trying to hit now the Katyusha on counterfire. But this is here, almost hits the info section. Just walking out of base.
It was nicely timed, and really good for Brosras to actually have that retreat command already lined up, because we saw players last week who maybe weren't doing that and were suffering to counter artillery. So good work from Brosras, and of course he wipes veterancy off of one of the Oster AT guns. Oh! Mortar pit from the Brits there, wipes a squad of Volks Grenadiers. That was a big shell. And all of these are going to stack up to problems. We're seeing a lot of veterancy being lost at the moment. There's a T-34-76 on the left-hand side with some of the conscripts and guards. They just spot as well Pioneer squads laying a minefield over there.
Yeah, it was a nice dodge here from the console player, dodging the Panzer wave for shooting the middle victory point, so... But still the Brumbear's there, shooting this ground attack around. Right over the line. Still can't even see some red arty smoke coming in the middle. Turn 9. Forcing still moving in. T4 forcing the MG on the left side to retreat. So Process is able to go with the conscripts. But facing S minefield with the conscripts there.
Hey,
Like
he knew that was there. He absolutely knew. Brosras just trying to get rid of this AT gun now. The Pioneers are desperate to capture it before the last shots from the PTRS go in. But it's not enough to take the gun down. They will be able to rescue that Pack 40. Of course, the Brumbears coming in just to continue to push that squad away. Allies, I think, actually, they're still in a pretty decent spot. Like, they're not in any serious problems.
Yeah, I actually would say Allies are in the lead. When I look at the manpower and fuel income, they can replace everything they want. Because they play so defensive. There's no dive in to try to kill the elephant. Always safe play here. Elephant going in for the middle, getting some nice shots in the ISU. Battery elephant now. So it's a nice stop there. Shooting very fast now. So they have to think about to use very soon a ram to kill the battery elephant. Mark targets on the elephant. There's nothing to do right now versus the elephant. It's kind of a waste of munition sadly. But at least you get spots in Recon. Comes the counter Recon from Pharaoh. There's a lot of munition, like... Maybe just waiting to get some Stuka by him again. For the munition points.
Oh, I think we're going to see something. Stern Panther. Hooligans bringing 2 Panthers onto the right-hand side. Elephant in the center. And it's just so hard to get past. They have got a scout car there. You can see the kind of vision the scout car gives. Huge. Makes the Elephant very efficient. Let's just have a look what Artific has got to deal with this. Really just a Comet. The Centaur is so busy guarding the right-hand side. I'm sure Hooligan is going to be tempted to rush that with the Panthers. But, I mean, actually, Allies, they're way too passive right now. They need to be flanking that Elephant, like you said. They've got the resources, they've got the fuel. They're actually banking so much in terms of resources right now. And they're just running out of time. You cannot let Axis armor get to Veteran C3 like that. Hooligan here calling in some air support from the Luftwaffe ground forces doctrine. It's going to help suppress some of the infantry. The Centaur should be able to help deal with that.
Plane crashes in and actually a T-43 going down to the Elephant in the middle from Rosras. Elephant pushing in as well as Brumbear. I'm surprised actually, like Axis making a big push here right now. Forcing Alice almost in the bases, even if Alice have way more resources. It's crazy, really play, as you say, way too passive as Allies. Oh no, a Recon plane crashed into a T-gun from the Wehrmacht plane included. That's sadly.
Well, hard to say anything right now. Stern Panther, I mean, Crocodile's also available to come in, but I can't see why they're going to want to use it. They need something that's going to be able to flank and get around the back of the Elephant. The Comet seems really appropriate here, but the Comet's just so busy on the right-hand side of the map here. More Panzerwerfer barrages. These ones are huge. The Elephant's getting great shots on the Su-85 there. Infantry are going to have to go back to base.
Katusha shooting on the Elephant, which is preparing, so has to go in base as well, but it will not be easier for Allies. Like, when 3 Elephant is a beast, you want to kill it as everything you can, and he comes another T-43 and he has now then 2, and I think Process is waiting to make a big push. Finally, and he has the army for it, and yeah, I think, as you said, I don't think Crocodile would be a good choice here, so another Comet would be the better choice. Just say, okay, we go to the flanks and then one single push, dive in and clear the battery Elephant, which is definitely needed.
Well, I mean, Allies, they've still got time. VPs are still actually remarkably equal at the moment. Both players are trying to go for indirect fire options to try and remove enemy infantry units from the field. Rosras has gone for 2 T-34s, which I suspect means that we are going to be looking at some kind of flank to come in soon. Potentially now. If this is a flank, this is one of the worst I've seen.
Almost going down, and I think one of your account missed the Discord of Stormless. Let's see, 5 goes down. Absolutely is 1000 here. He used to dive, but the dive completely failed around. Big losses here, and yeah, Process lost his whole army. That was not the way they wanted to.
Unfortunately, he's been saving so many resources, Stern Panther, that he can just go straight back into building 2 T-34s and give that another shot. Maybe this is to lure the Axis into a false sense of security. They probably think now we've wiped all the armor, but 2 T-34s are...
It's a shame, man. Like, if you put left and right side, the flank would be perfect, but don't rush frontal in the whole army. That was a strange play there. Artwick has 1000 manpower, almost 600 fuel, it's crazy. Artwick can also this mortar pit has 39 kills, doing a big job here.
Just wiped Veteran C3 mortar from Bosras. All of these indirect fire wipes are so important. These are the things that are going to be bringing the game to a finish. Now we have the Comet. The Comet, I think, may have been better to wait for the T-34s, but Elephant there nearly back at full health. Maybe they feel like they just don't have the time. And that Elephant is amazing. Just takes down like a quarter of health from the Comet with one shot. Panther on the left-hand side just defending against any of the infantry squads coming in. One of the key things though, Stern Panther, this Su-85 there in the center, which is going to be able to penetrate the Elephant. Hope to see it on Veteran C3, Vet 2, it's got a little bit of a faster fire rate.
Yeah, Stuka dive bomb, maybe around the ISU if he goes leading back, but misses sadly. Moves away. Station trying to cap the middle victory point with his bomber, has to dodge all the time. Here comes the combination fire, that's smoke.
I'll tell you, Stern Panther, what I think is gonna perhaps win this game at the moment for... oh, sorry, by the way, Panther, mine on the left-hand side is now snared. Do we have any units to go over and deal with that? 2 Su-85s immediately see that. They're going straight in for this. There's a Katusha on the center VP. I think Refero has spotted that this unit's in trouble as well. Here's the second Su-85. This Panther is going to go down, I believe.
And well, no support said, like, it was a good idea, but mine wins games, and they saw they attended a lot of mines already. It's a risky play, and here goes the Panther. I mean, you can flank with a Puma, it's not expensive, but the Panther is a pro kind of. But still Axis have 2 victory points under control. So this is fine. They see everything is weakened. Stuka almost kills the Pioneer from the grid players. Artwick, what are you waiting for? What is your next tank? Needs to build something.
Oh,
there we go.
It's the Crocodile. This one deserves a bit of an intro, actually. I bring that one in. Wow. It's a beautiful tank.
It's 35 now. Vet 3. Another Stuka dive bomb comes in.
Stern Panther, one of the comments I'm just going to make before actually is where I think this game might be won by the Allies still is that Refero and Hooligan just seem to give up on infantry units that are capable of being aggressive and capping. You look at Refero, he's got 3 Pioneers and 2 Grenadiers. You look at Hooligan, he's only got the 2 now Volks Grenadiers with his Stern Pioneers. And Axis have gone so heavy into vehicles that they're going to lose map control. And they are not paying enough attention to this.
If you saw that Stormless, the ISU hit on the Elephant wiped all the Pioneers from Refero in one single shot.
Oh.
This is the game changer. Like, this was... Bama Pioneers are dead. This one single shot. You should see the Pioneers crouching behind the Elephant. What a massacre. Yep. That hurts. No repairs, not for Refero anymore.
Yeah. He's got the one Pioneer squad. I think maybe that just been rebuilt.
It is.
taking our territory.
Yeah,
And
I mean, yeah, trying to. I mean, like 2v2 games, they just they just kind of become this indirect fire battle by the end of the game. It's just you cannot be reinforcing or repairing like that near the front lines anymore, and he has absolutely paid the price.
There's an ISU out at Croco and still the mortar pit is alive, so there's no chance that allies can capture the middle victory point anymore. That we can see, as I said, there's no infantry for access. They have the tanks, kind of, but not the infantry to cap.
Just watching the Katusha. I think they're getting some sight here from the Su-85, which has incredibly huge focus sight vision right now. Was able to see the elephant pinpoint accuracy from Brosras, so really, really good. They're using the late game abilities. They're using all the buffs they're getting from their veterancy to create great plays. That's what we like to see.
Yeah, we can see that Refer is bleeding about manpower. He has 500 fuel, but only 200 manpower. He can't get more tanks out as he want to. Stuka shooting on the right side. I think intersection bots. They want 2 models. So the 5's opening the 5's elephants. It's because of battery. Zombie is in trouble as well, so back up. Yeah. Here comes last drive airborne assault from Hooligan.
Sorry, Stern Panther is just viewing Su-85 at Vet 3, which nearly went down there on the left-hand side. I think the Panther's trying to come in to help here. One of the planes brings the Su-85 down very, very low and is going to destroy it. The plane goes down as well. Now the Panther's got a chance to come in and try to deal with this ISU. If they turn the armor of the ISU, the Elephant will be able to get some huge shots on rear armor. So once again, allies, they just get forced back by this maneuver every time it comes in.
Yeah, the Centaur is still alive, and the Centaur has 43 kills as well. Doing a good job there to protect everything. Katusha shooting the elephant again, killing the Pioneer through repairing some models. Almost wipes the Pioneer there. That's the problem, repairing at the front.
This could be interesting from Artivik. AT guns are going actually. Raketen up first. Scout car goes down immediately to the ISU. Big hit. But the Raketen is going to be lost for this. Panthers, they're coming in from the right hand side and they're coming into flank right now. One of the shots immediately connects with the Cromwell. This could be the winning push. Axis now are desperate to lock down the allies in their own territory, but they take a snare on some mines. They've got to be so careful here that they don't lose all of their armor. There is a Stuka dive bomb coming down, I believe, on top of the mortar pit. Crocodile goes down to the Elephant. This is messy.
I think it was the right decision to say as Axis, okay, we have to do something, we can't keep the middle victory point anymore. Let's dive in with all the punters we have. Got some damage, but not enough. But at least allies are back up, so Axis have a chance to triple cap again. Focusing cap on right side. That Centaur will deny it probably. Using the British right side, not yet. But he forces it away. Bomben doing some nice shots on Pioneer in the middle. Katusha coming in to support. Almost wipes both solid Pioneers. One Flamer goes down at 3. And if you look at army for Brosas, he doesn't have infantry as well anymore. He has only tanks. And 1 conscript. It's in the base.
How are the players planning on playing this game with vehicles only? It's
So I really props to Artivik with still 3 infantry section, Vet 3 and 2 Pioneers around, keeping them alive. Here we are, 1 victory point in the hand of Axis, 2 neutral, so we slightly pick up there. Katusha shooting again, probably trying to find some repair people around the medic. Crazy game so far. We are closely to mark the 1 hour mark. Panzerwerfer shooting in the middle on the intersection probably. And gets a wipe! Nice, almost a concert as well. Important pick up there to stop it. We have 2 victory points in the lead right now, but allies are 100 to 68. Nice S-mine field on the left side again. And she covering the left victory point. Should be safe.
Smoke here from Hooligan. I wonder what the plan is here. Perhaps the smoke was going to cover the axis to push up the map a little bit. The ISU's been doing really good, by the way. 59 kills on that unit right now. Which has just been clearing support weapons, AT guns, everything you can think of.
The elephant is pushing forward with nice hits here on the 35. Has the backup. He's going here. Has my target on as well.
Oh! Whoa! What a huge hit from the ISU Storm Panther. Did you see that? That went from about half health to nothing.
That was the elephant. It was like 35 and ISU shooting at the same time.
Wow, I think Allies may have just secured the game there with that shot. That was beautiful.
That was crazy, almost half health there. Now they have ISU, 2 comments in the middle. Mortar Pit is still alive, 44 kills. They have 2 Panthers from Hooligan, but Refero has to wait because of the last patch. It's a 3-minute cooldown on the elephant, so he has to wait. And I think he can't wait from the victory points. Another elephant should be coming in. 3 on the right side. Missing.
Just see as soon as the Stuka fires, like Artivic's bringing the Comet in to try and find out where it is. And now you're just seeing there's a bit of a coordinated effort here from Artivic and Brosras as they're trying to get around an MG42. And not done particularly well there, I'd say. It's charging straight at it.
Alice trying to get the left victory point, but since there's a Vetri MG and S-mines, it's secured. Katusha is trying to kill the MG in the left side. Oh wow! Hits the S-mine and the MG, and the MG completely got destroyed at 3. Unfortunate for Axis there. Means the Conscript can finally cap it. It will be a triple cap for Allies.
Oh, Storm Panther, I think we're just, sadly to say, waiting for this game to finish now, because, I mean, Axis don't really have any units to cap with. Hooligan's just had to call in some Fallschirmjäger. But I mean, this was the problem, just a huge focus on vehicles, and then when they had the vehicles, they just weren't aggressive enough. One thing I do want to say, Artivic, with his mines in this game, really, really good. In fact, Brosras and Artivic just mining down the right-hand side constantly. Perhaps fearing that Panther flank that we did eventually see from Hooligan. Now we're going to see Comets here. They're going to go for the Panther. I'm sure they'll be able to get the Panther here. Great smoke shot from the Comet as well. Defends against the Vet4 Raketten. I think they're just wasting Axis time.
Trying to push, but there's 2 C-85s. This scopes on. So the Panther has immediately to go away. Katusha again shooting the left victory point on a Grenadier. Only 1 model left. He's trying to hold the line for the victory point. Seems like he's able to do it. Oh, it was close. Actually almost hit it there. 90 victory points remaining.
Oh, Storm Panther. I can't see it happening for Axis at this point. I hope there's an elephant just come on the field. I'm like, but with 18 VPs, it's going to be really, really tough.
How to deal? They can't get the middle victory point. There's an ISU, 66 kills, Mortar Pit 55, which actually wiped another squad there. So it's 49 kills in one single Mortar Kit. Like 50 kills it's crazy. So much damage. Hunter's diving in the right side. Last push on the right side for Hooligan. Hunter gets snapped probably here.
Not a good idea. Snares from the sappers there. 2 Comets going to be able to deal with the Panthers fairly easily. And as the VPs drain away, actually there you just see Hooligan forced out of the VP on the right hand side by the Katusha. I don't think there's enough time to decap at this point, especially with VP on the left hand side about to be neutralized.
Gets a counter, goes in real armor to make some damage there. New fight is coming in, but Centaur will deny that. Raketenwerfer went 5, by the way. Last shot, and there we are. 1 hour, 40-minute game. What a crazy first game of the day.
GG.